The first series broke the internet. Millions of views, thousands of lives changed. You demanded more. Now Graeme Holm returns for series 2.
Fat little housing commission kid from Wollongong. Raised by a single mother, victim of domestic violence at 6 months old. You're told you'll amount to nothing. You'll never own a home. You're poor. You're dumb. I was bullied as a kid. And I think things either break you or make you. That didn't break me. That always shaped me to go, well, fuck you. I'm going to go figure this money thing out. What other choice do you have? It's not easy for people, man. It's really not easy.
Graeme Holm, over $7 billion in financial transactions.
He's raised over $1 million for charity and helped thousands pay off their mortgages in under 10 years. This is his story.
In my paid masterclass, I share about $150 million of real estate transactions just in the last 4 years. 2 weeks ago, I spent 40-something million on assets.
Now we're talking.
In that week, in that Monday to Sunday. You are a special type of human being if you are having a crack in Australia right now. We did like 44 podcasts. Every single person on that has nothing on their home loan, and they've all come to me with just in the last 2 or 3 years. It's really important that if you want 20, go to someone who's got 30, because they know what can go wrong. Shit goes wrong financially in life. You've got to have the skill set and the acumen and the financial emotional intelligence. And when shit goes wrong, do you dump it and fire sale it, or what's the strategy to hold, or how to not have losses? Someone can perceive me as an absolute fucking flop, yet I've got thousands of people that perceive me as family to them because of the impact we've had. So everyone's perception is their own, and if everyone can take their intention and their ability to unlearn what they think they know, they might just learn something.
I'm going to give $1,000 away.
That's huge,
of my
mate.
own money.
I'll double it. So
Yeah,
$6 grand.
$6 grand, all right.
Let's do a male and a female winner. We'll go $3 grand, put up 10 Tony Robbins tickets, and we can pick 10 people that actually really want to fucking change their lives, and they're in trauma right now, or pain, or want some help, or whatever.
Yeah.
In the next episode, we're going to drop that, and I'll drop something super cool for people as well.
That's it. Love it. That was awesome, man.
Gee, welcome back, mate, to another Both Sides podcast.
It's a new one. We've got
It is.
like the Three Musketeers. We've got a trio now. This is fucking.
We,
he's better looking, by the way. Just saying.
He's got bigger guns, that's
yeah,
for sure.
he's fucking jacked. You know, he's been on the cans.
Yeah. Mate, we've had so much change internally over the last few years. And from the outside looking in, you have just gone like from Mars to the next galaxy and beyond.
Uranus.
Yeah, mate. Just
Jupiter.
congratulations.
Thanks,
and
man.
I think what's really inspiring for me, being able to sit across the table from you, is to just see what you've been able to build, not just in a business sense, but a community sense. Like, mate, to see the amount of money you've raised for charity
Yeah, we won't go there too deep. We'll start crying and shit, but yeah.
is phenomenal. And then to just come into your office and just see this, not just like an office that you go to work, but this environment which is changing people's lives financially.
Did you get to see some of the team and have a it's pretty cool culture.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind, mate, because like 2 years ago when we did our first lots of podcasts, like we went to your office, we went to these different locations, and it's just amazing to see how much things have transpired. And so, mate, the first place I'd like to start is to just first congratulate you on your success. Thanks
man.
for having us on the journey.
Well, thanks for having us, because you guys have blown up too. So I've got a kudos to you. It's like to watch it grow and have other people and to see your feed, and just it's wild. Like the people you're getting as guests shit all over me. So it's
Don't be silly.
it's pretty cool to watch the journey, man. You guys are going viral.
Yeah, man, it's cool.
Mind you, we put some pretty topical stuff out there. So.
Well, I guess my first question for you, I have to ask, like, the amount of success you've created, can you give us a bit of an insight for our audience that's grown, your audience that may not have really heard your story? Who is Graeme Holm?
Fat little housing commission kid from Wollongong. So if we get it out there early, we can avoid the fat jokes in the comments, right? Yeah, look, raised by a single mother, victim of domestic violence at 6 months old. And I think things either break you or make you, really. And for Mum and I, we lived in DV shelters, crisis accommodation. Nan and Pop helped raise me, family, friends, all that sort of stuff. And it's really interesting because I think we got our first little like housing commission sort of, I think it was like a 1-bedroom unit, and I had the lounge and Mum had a room, and Nan and Pop would take me to and from school, and Mum worked multiple jobs. But for me, when you talk about the charity, I actually remember the Salvos and Vinnies, but the Salvos coming in, doing a welfare check where they put, if anyone remembers, black and gold tinned food. And it was like baked beans and sketty and spam that was like, I don't know what it was like. It was a brick. But So, mate, yeah, grew up pretty, very, very humble, like beyond humble, like hungry, cold. Like, mum worked multiple jobs, but it was just tough. Like, didn't have a car for a long time, and had a little runaround car. So it was really tough. So I remember at a very young age getting helped by welfare and sort of organisations and stuff, and not having somewhere to live, living with family and friends. And I also remember a couple of Christmases where I was a recipient from the Kmart Wishing Tree. So that sort of stuff, I think, like people say, it'll break you or make you. For me, it helped. A lot of these things help shape who I am. And that's where that impact and sort of people over profit and all that sort of stuff comes back. And look, I know people say it's easy to say when you've already made your money, but that's where I came from. Like, there was no one coming to save me. Like, it was really fucking hard. There was no one to say, hey, I need a loan. Like it's you know what I mean? Like, now I'm buying my parents a property and a car and stuff. So
Do you have a relationship with your dad now?
No, not at all.
Sorry to hear, man.
No, never. Sadly, never will. So, but that's why I'm ready to sort of semi-retire soon and have kids and be fucking tiger dad.
Yeah.
So when you're going through that stuff as a kid, there's one of the hardest things you can go through. It shaped you, and it shaped you, and you've turned that bad into a good. Were there any mentors or people around you that helped cultivate that?
Yeah, massively. So, I mean, it's a bit weird. I've through a lot of fucking therapy and stuff, but I've got really bad PTSD, I guess you'd say, clinically from childhood. And that's only a recent thing from seeking out like guidance stuff to go, man, you got really bad PTSD. But if you're told you'll amount to nothing, you'll never own a home, you're poor, you're dumb, you know, your family's there. Like, I was bullied as a kid, you know what I mean? Like, and these days kids cop it online. Like, it's not like they're bullied in the playground. They go home on social media and they're bullied on their devices. It's non-stop for them. It's sad. So that didn't break me. That always shaped me to go, well, fuck you. I'm going to go figure this money thing out. You know what I mean? Like, what other choice do you have? So it's not easy for people, man. It's really not easy.
How early did you decide that? You know, when you're going through that, to have that perspective when you're young and you know you're hungry, you know things are hard, obviously, because you're living it. Sort of what point when you were younger did you realise, you know what, fuck it, I've got to do better. I want to get out of here. Was there a pivotal point?
Yeah, it was more so when my mum had remarried. She'd been with her partner for like, I don't know, 10 years. And she said, if you don't marry me or propose to me, I'm going to leave you. So I think he proposed in year 10 and they got married in the 11th year or something. So he was like with her from when I was like 5, say. So like very early memory that he was always around. But he was very meticulous, I think mechanical engineer, very matter-of-fact sort of guy, and was a stepfather sort of figure. And he was great to me in a lot of ways, because that's when I sort of realised, because he was well-to-do, he had a beautiful block of land, built a home in Kiama, affluent area on the far south coast, but was always very firm with me. If you don't do this, you want, you know, like, it was quite a, I guess you'd say, a guiding force to be like, these are the things. 'Cause I just thought I was going to play semi-professional soccer. I went to Brazil and Argentina and was playing at a high rep level and around the world. So I thought I was going to be a soccer superstar. And girls would chase you down the streets of London to drive a Lamborghini, and then I became the ball. So, but he was good. He was like, hey, you got to do school, you got to do this, you got to do, you know, the old textbook, you got to get into uni sort of thing, because if you hurt yourself, you're screwed. So he was a real driving force, but two ways: a positive force that instilled all of these things in me, but also was somebody who created a lot of that trauma of you'll never have money, you and your mum don't have money. Yeah, 100%. Right. So whilst I hold a lot of respect for that stepdad father figure, they're not together anymore. It was a two-way street. He was a driving positive force in a lot, but he was just as negative. But I'm quite lucky that the negative from him I've turned into, I wouldn't say positive, but I've turned it into a positive, but from a lot of trauma.
Did you use sport as a
outlet? Sport was a massive. Pop put me in soccer at 9 years old, and if I didn't have sport, I would have been like the rest of the Houso kids, Robbins. You know, not all Housos are bad, by the way. It's a bit of a colloquialism, throw a blanket over them, but that was the norm. Everyone used to steal the milk money back in the day when you had red foil caps on the milk, and the drink man came, and if you were rich, you could afford Portello, if anyone remembers Portello. But yeah, that was a driving force for me. It was good and bad, but I took the bad and went, well, fuck you, mother. I'm going to prove you wrong.
Wow.
And I did. So I think it's the old story. You can have twin boys, identical twin boys, and the father can be an alcoholic. And it's funny, you watch them grow up in real life, and one says, I'm an alcoholic, my father was an alcoholic. And the other one says, I don't drink at all because my father was an alcoholic. So it's you can have two apparently identical,
100%.
biologically look the same, walk, talk, act the same, can't tell the difference, but they take absolute opposite paths in life.
If there's kids listening that are where you were and they're twins, what advice would you give? Because the people that, I'm sure there's people that follow you, follow both podcasts. What advice would you give to, say, you know, that 15, 18, 20-year-old that's catching a bit of this content, they're in that environment, they're playing a bit of sport, they want to get out, they don't quite know where to go. Maybe their stepdad is a dickhead. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there'll be listeners.
Yeah, pretty common.
What would you say to them?
I'd say I got this recently, and people saying some of my kind of young gentleman by the name of Oscar, and I'll use him as a real life example. About 18 years old, had a friend sadly take their own life, didn't know where to turn, was completely lost, wouldn't eat, wouldn't leave his bedroom. Parents were worried they were going to lose him. He didn't know how to process it at 18 years old. Had sport, actually semi-professional soccer player.
Right.
Beautiful young man. David Goggins was coming to Australia. He walked out to his parents and said, hey, I want to go see David Goggins. Now, he says he went for Goggins and he left with me, the poor bloody kid. But that was 2 years ago. I'll tell the people listening at that 18, 20-year-old thing the same thing as me. They've got sport as a bit of an outlet. They're struggling financially. Parent-in-law could be a dick. They're told they're never going to get it. They don't have a runaround car, or they can't put tire. You know, they're struggling. I tell them the same thing I told Oscar when he asked for a hack. Head down, bum up. Don't leave sport, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And you'll typically find the socioeconomics associated around sport, the nature of the people and the human beings, are typically quite kind, loving, and community-based. And community, like I've built here, is a really big thing in life. Everybody wants to feel like they fit in somewhere. And if you feel like you don't fit in with your stepdad because he's a fucking dick, or your wicked mother-in-law tells you you're going to amount to nothing, that's them projecting their failure in life. So head down, bum up, stay in a community, whether it's sport or school or whatever. I get emotional even thinking back to that. I had that adopted dads. I had an Italian dad and a Macedonian, and those people fed me and clothed me and drove me to soccer because my stepdad didn't want to, and mum had to work, right? So stay in those communities that will support you and believe in you, that will feed you and help you and sing your praises and watch your games and stuff like that. And don't let somebody else's miserable fucking failed existence dictate where you could end up in life. Because if you just associate with that, like I could have, that's where I'd be.
How relative is that scar tissue to success?
Oh, fuck, man. Like,
how
I'm
big is
talking
it?
now and I'm trying not to get emotional because I'm trying to think what would I want to say to little 18-year-old me, right? And I get almost tear because, like, little 18-year-old, to tell him then, you're going to prove this fucking asshole wrong. I thought it, but I also never thought it. I didn't have the tools or the resources or someone to help me. I knew I wanted it, and that was the cut, right, so to speak. And then from there, it's building that scar tissue. And that, for me, that's huge. Like, the more that people come at me, the harder and faster and bigger I go. Like, we did this session in December 23, the first one. The more people that had a crack at me, the more motivated I was to prove them wrong. Oh, offset accounts are great. We'll fucking talk about that later in the current ASIC investigations, right? Like, so scar tissue for me has been something that I'm constantly picking at, playing with. Don't really want it to heal. I'm probably never really at peace. Like, people go, when's enough? You could stop. And I'm like, if you put impact over money and legacy, then why would you ever stop? Like, the number one you see in real estate, people are like, oh, if I could just get to 2 houses, why 2? What does that mean for you? If we could just get to 10, like, when is enough? And people go, I want to make $1 million, because it's the biggest fucking number they can rationalize. So scar tissue for me is huge, but it's not. And again, people say it's easy to say when you've made your money. Where I come from, it was negative. There was no money. So I think there's people listening and tuning in, and we do get a lot of that because we're pretty real and raw. Head down, bum up, as I said to Oscar. In 2 years, he saved over $120,000, and he just bought his first $1 million property as 2021, 2 and a bit years. Shout out to him. You've seen him in the content. And he asked for the hack, and he shared on stage in front of 800 people the other month. Everyone goes, oh, who do you look up to? And he said, I kind of look up to Graeme because he came from somewhere I was. And mum and dad are great, but I want to aspire to achieve things that he has. And these kids him and his brothers, 4 brothers, donated all of their savings to the Kmart Wishing Tree last year because I believe in it. So that's fucking like, that's scar tissue, but it's also almost letting someone else scratch their own scabs to be like, what do other people care about? Because when you're that age, you don't know what you want.
100%.
You don't know if you're going to be in a good life, shit life, good partnership, partner, friends group. So
A big shout out to our main podcast sponsor that's made this podcast possible, view.com.au. For anyone over the Christmas period that wants to get a better understanding of what their property's worth, maybe you want to look about upsizing or downsizing your family home, or even search for your next investment, definitely look at view.com.au. Thank you for supporting us with this episode.
How do people find a Graeme?
Do a podcast.
Start a podcast.
find a Graeme. What do you mean? What aspect? Like,
because sometimes when you're in that, you're just in that vortex. Maybe the ecosystem's not a healthy one, and you are, you're Oscar. You're not leaving your home. You're a bit depressed. There's no guidance, and a lot of the time people just don't know where to look.
Yeah.
So where can, I guess for people just aspiring to better their life, like where can people source out good role models? Like if you are growing up in the housing commission, there's just no one around. Where do people go to look? Where should they look?
I go back to that sport and that sense of community. It might not be sport. It could be music. It could be arts, whatever. But start with that sense of community. You'll typically have leaders or really good people that care in those communities that want to give back and want to see people do well, like your coaches or your managers and stuff like that. I take it all back to sport. I think that not enough emphasis, especially in this tech era, there's not enough emphasis on sport and leaders and community. And I think we could do that a lot. We do it well in Australia, let's be clear, but I'd say start with sport and your community. If you're someone that doesn't have that community or sport and you're a gamer and you sit at home collecting stamps and playing Xbox or Fortnite or so, I'm too old, but if that's your community and you have an online community, it's kind of not real. You need to find some sort of community. You have to inject yourself into some sort of community, or it's free. Start with podcasts, start with YouTube. Listen to an Ed Milet or a Tony Robbins or a Gary V or a Both Sides podcast or a Money Mentor podcast. But like, get on and do some free. And I always talk about your vibe, your tribe. Like, I'm not for everybody. I piss heaps of people off, but I'm not for them. So I'm not here to offend them deliberately. If they find me and they don't like me, ignore me and scroll on, right? But there's too many there's too many broken people. It's always a profile picture of a dog or a fish. No one thinks it's cool, but everyone's quick to attack on social. So just maybe use those free reels, podcasts, YouTube, books are still cool, but they outdate. And find someone that you feel like when I'm listening to a podcast and I really relate, I almost feel like I'm being personally attacked or cuddled. Does that make sense to you? Like, you're like, fuck, this person. Yeah, this person's speaking to me. Like, damn.
Ed Milet's good for that.
Ed's the best at that, right?
That. Yeah.
Right? Like, Ed is wild, because I do some stuff in business coaching and stuff with Ed and Andy and mate, Ed just feels like he's just talking to you, and you're like, damn, I got to sort my shit out. Well, Ed's going to monster me, right? Yeah. So I'd say, like, when you can scroll some podcasts and give them a good crack and you feel that connection, then that's somebody, as long as they're positive, you don't want some fucking lunatic, as long as they're a positive influence and you know that they're trying to help people grow and be 1% better every day, fuck, attach to that and try to find some sense of community around it.
That's brilliant.
But anything is possible, but you have to want it. You have to be prepared to live with that. Like, some people cut the cord and get over it and, go to Bunnings, buy some timber, build a bridge and get over it. But you've got to be prepared to either let the scar tissue go, heal and ignore it and it's done. Or for me, I've never cut the cord. I'm driven by that scar tissue. I've got a lot of people to prove wrong.
Love that.
I can speak from my experience because I lost my dad when I was 7, and I've been that child that I remember as a 7-year-old, like that year for Christmas, his boss bought me a Christmas present. So I've been that kid in your shoes. And for me, like growing up, like mum's from Mount Druitt, like. And
hi mum, by the way. We
remember
spoke
Jules?
for a while. Yeah, I've spoken to Jules for a while. She follows all my stuff on socials.
She loves you, mate. And so, like, for me, I had sport as my thing, and then I got introduced. Like Tony Robbins was my first seminar, success seminar I did, and I was like, "This guy's my ticket out of like."
And it might not be a ticket, but if it's enough
hope,
for you,
that someone you can aspire to be like.
And if they're good habits and you follow and you feel good about yourself and you're aspiring to be better and you're a good human being, fuck, you're halfway there. The rest will figure itself
it does,
out.
man. And then that just inspires you to take that next step, and then you take that step. Then you're like, I started a podcast, and then I got to people like yourself, and it's just like.
And the next thing, you guys are going to Bali and you're buying thousands, hundreds of presents for people in orphanages that people here would otherwise forget. At least we've got a welfare system in Australia, right?
Yeah.
They don't have that there.
Yeah. Round 4 this year.
But
Yeah,
I've got a
that's good.
question, G, because it's easy for people like you, myself, Josh, grew up without a dad, Kevin's had his own challenges. We're driven like no other because we've had a life that others haven't. How do people, what's your advice for people that haven't got that drive? Like we're built there's nothing that.
It's built different.
We're just built different in that sense. So it doesn't matter what happens, we find a way. What's the advice for people that maybe aren't us?
It's an interesting question because I don't know anyone that's hyper successful that doesn't come from a background of trauma, scar tissue, adversity, triumph, tribulation. Like, it's very interesting to me. I can't remember if it was Oprah or someone said years ago, they're like, Tony Robbins said on it, he was like, hey, all of these kids that are wildly successful are autistic, ADHD, manic, bipolar, and true. So I'm not saying fuck up your kids. We don't want to do that, right? But there's actually all this data on it that really driven successful people can come from some horrific or traumatic backgrounds. It's actually really hard for people that have grown up in a dual family, very standard mum and dad household, heterosexual couple, and everything's rosy, and they've always had a good meal and good clothes, and they're just, normal mid-tier society sort of socioeconomic families. Some of those people, it's really hard to aspire to do anything. You've never gone without. You've never suffered. You don't, maybe somebody died when you were growing up. You've had some trauma there or some loss, but sometimes it's very hard for those people to aspire to do anything more than have a very standard job, and that makes them really happy. And that's okay. But if you do want more, you've got to go down that path and go, well, like you talked about that, where do I go? What do I do? Well, head down, bum up. I'm going to invest in myself. I had to do that. I always joke and say I used to be a shit bloke. And I always joke about that. So I still am, but I work on it every day. And for me now, it's like, I invested. Like, I used to go to Beck, I call them rah-rah events, right? Beck used to go every fucking year with Laney and that. It's like, rah, and I used to sit there going, fucking Tony Robbins, I know boats. What's this guy going to fucking teach me, And out doing calls and emails and coffees outside. And there's this one year and Beck was like, listen, I know you think you know fucking boats, but if we pushed off the jetty, it'd fucking sink. And I'm like, yeah, true. I've got a license, but she goes, you don't know what you're doing. You wouldn't even know how to start the thing. And I'm like, yeah, true. She goes, why don't you just play full out this year? Promise me you'll have a crack, and if it's not for you and I see you have a crack, all good, I'll never make you come again. I'm like, I never have to go again. Fuck, we're on here, boys. And I went in and played full out, and I come out as a completely different human being. Completely different human being.
Intention.
And we all think we know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we look outside and go, the sky is blue. And someone will go, no, it's a bit overcast. It's grey today. Perception is reality. We've talked about this before. How you perceive something can be very different how I perceive. Someone can perceive me as an absolute fucking flop, yet I've got thousands of people that perceive me as family to them because of the impact we've had. So everyone's perception is their own, and if everyone can take their intention and their ability to unlearn what they think they know, they might just learn something new.
It's all in your head.
If you're in your head, you're dead too.
Yeah.
But if you can get in your head and pull some of it out, fuck, mate, we use like this much of our brain. Do you know what I mean? Like what we're actually truly capable of. We don't need fucking AI. Humans are capable of it. Look, we got to this point to build it.
There's a saying that I think Ed Milet said it, actually. Credit to Ed. Is that we spend 95% of the time worrying about shit that only happens 5% of the time. So your perception on stress and problems is all manufactured.
Yeah.
And you can literally change it. So
Fear. False evidence appearing real. What's fear?
That's it.
Like, I'm scared right now. What if I swear too much on the podcast? Or what if I've got a booger hanging out of my nose? Or my beard's grey? Well, it is grey. But you're like, fucking who cares? Get on with it.
Yeah.
It's all meaningless anxiety and tension. It's just shit in the body that just let go of. What matters? Head down, bum up. Your family, your health. And if you're healthy and you got your family and you wake up every day, nothing else matters. No one's opinion matters.
No.
And then hopefully you can try to get a little bit of wealth to make sure you can afford to sustain your health and your family. Pretty simple.
And fear and excitement are the same chemical. anxiety and excitement, clinically proven, are the same chemical. So if you change your perception on what that chemical makes you feel, you will change the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have guns that big.
That's a lot of chicken. A lot of energy drinks.
So that Tony Robbins conference was a tipping point.
Yeah.
What were some other major tipping points that you can reflect back on that have shaped who you are today?
Definitely the Tony Robbins thing was a big thing. Definitely the partnership and doing all the speaking and stuff back in 2019. You know, we had a business that was, and sorry, I'll go back a step actually. Entering banking at like 18 odd years old, 19 years old, and having some really good mentors through that. That was a turning point because I'm like, I got to go learn money. And I'll probably talk to this later, but you know, I did a 97% no LMI home loan when I bought my first home at 21 because I worked for the bank. So they waive LMI. I needed 3%, and that was basically the first homeowner's grant. I bought for like $355, $750 in Albion Park behind the high school because I knew boats. I was a local bank manager. Fucking didn't make $1 for fucking 7 years, and then I thought the property cycle was 7 years, so I sold it for 10 grand more. 2 years later, it was worth fucking 800. Fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all this, and I thought I knew. I was a bank manager on 59,990. You know what I mean? Back then at the bank, like, so going like that was a big turn. Like those mentors that helped me go from a customer service rep to a business banking rep to a home lending manager to a financial planner for a brief period to a branch manager, and then being a lending manager and a bank manager of 3 branches at once and going from bank to bank every day. Like, so they were really, really influential mentors that helped shape my financial knowledge, which was great for me till I realised how bad banking was. But, you know, everyone's banging on about the new first home stuff. I bought with a 3% deposit. It got me in the market. Now, yeah, I sold prematurely before the market did its thing, but I also paid the debt down, which is really important. So I had equity.
And experience.
And and there's a really key thing that I've absolutely, from a lot of Tony and Ed and it, people go, I've made so many mistakes and they just live in it and sit with it. I've had heaps of lessons. And the faster you fail fast, hard, hurt, and learn. It's only a mistake if you're dumb enough to do it a second time. Okay, married, divorced once. Won't fuck it up again. Everyone's entitled to one bad marriage, except my wife, because it's her first. Right? But they're like, and even that shit, people go, oh, my ex. I have to own 50% of how bad that marriage is. And this is emotional maturity, right? I can't just blame my ex. I was a fucking shit husband and piece of shit too. That's why it didn't work. Sydney Harbour Bridge leans on itself. Everyone knows that, right? They built one side. It's this close. If one person's here, sometimes the other person will come forward too much and that person regresses. Or if one person goes here, the other one starts to regress and there's a big gap and they're fucked, right? So if we can own our shit as a human being, if we can have some good mentors, but perception, intention, all these things matter because it's the reality that we live in our head. All these little thoughts, and you think when we're chatting now, there's all these little things popping off in our brain. You're like, fuck, which thing do I grab? Give me my medication, right? Like what do you grab? How many thoughts a day are human beings having? Those thoughts are your reality. Whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, that's what you sit with. Even when you're asleep and you're thinking and dream, like that's your intention when you wake up in the morning. Whatever you let yourself process is your intention for the day.
How much do you think people overanalyze and, paralysis by analysis, with so many thoughts and picking the right one?
We talked about this off air before about people doing due diligence and research and how fucking wrong they get it. Like analysis paralysis is a huge thing. I always say to people, if you feel fear, right? You're like, you know what? I'm really scared about getting my first mortgage or my next mortgage. So I'm just going to do nothing. I'm really scared of refinancing, right? Well, I'm going to do nothing because if you're fearful, you won't act because of the fear you fear. But fear is just not enough information. So if the intention is I need to fix my mortgage, but I'm too scared and I don't understand it, so it's better to do nothing. Someone could rip me off. I'm really scared of these finance gurus and brokers. Well, if you then change your perception, you go, okay, I'm scared because I don't understand. I need to go get the knowledge. When I have the knowledge, now I can act with less fear. Does that make sense? The knowledge should
Power.
overcome the fear, right? Knowledge is power. Then you can make informed, intellectual, educated decisions. Otherwise, you go, I'm going to go refinance. Yeah, I'm going to go direct to the bank or this. That's my friend. I trust them. And I'm still scared. So it's going to be a shit fight in the process because I don't understand what I'm doing. People shouldn't do shit they don't understand. It's simple. If you don't understand it, don't do it. But you shouldn't do nothing. You should go and get the knowledge, spend an hour on YouTube or podcast or do a fucking webinar, fuck. Or do a short online course from a fucking university or a fucking, it doesn't have to be me. It can be a Kosh. There's actually so many little cool courses and shit out there. You can go on the Money Smart website. You can do some basic shit. People just aren't prepared to do it. And that's why the people with trauma or backgrounds typically do so well because they know...
We're just in fight or flight. We don't have a choice.
We know what it feels to be fucked up, right?
We're just going for it.
And you know what? People, this is really important. People will do, if this is your lowest low, darkest, highest valley, darkest mountain, right? Valley mountain, you will do anything to get out of that dark valley when you hit rock bottom, when you can't put petrol in the car, pay the bills and feed your kids or whatever, right? But when you're here and you're halfway up the hill to the highest hill, you're not too worried about the valley, are you? I'm not going to learn. I don't care if I earn. First you learn, then you earn. So people are just, that perception, analysis, paralysis, it's a big part. All of that shit for me is bundled up together with a lot of scar tissue and PTSD to be like, right, how do Beck and I help take, we used to call it the middle class. It's now what they've actually titled, I don't know if you've seen statistically calling it the working class poor. Imagine being middle class in Australian society. You've got a mortgage, you're paying your bills, you've got cars and kids, and you've now just been labelled the working class poor. That's the new label that they've given it. But that was middle class. So we were like, fuck that. How do we take what you'd call lower to mid socio-economic families, and how do we give them so much intention and so much knowledge that's mathematically correct, they can expedite the fucking process and effectively buy time because they understand what they're doing, they have an intention to improve their position, and they sure as shit don't want to stay in that dark valley.
And it's proven.
It's proven. It's tried, tested, and proven. But you get the average person that wants to become a client, and we're like, guys, it's not the right fit. What do you mean it's not the right fit? Here, we'll give you a refund. I don't want a refund. You know what I mean? And when you do that, they're like, oh, but I want help. You don't really want help. You're really, really comfortable where you are right now.
Is your fuel source changing? Because we're always picking at the scar tissue, and now a lot of it, respectfully, probably in a position where you don't need to quote unquote work. Yeah. Those fulfillment pieces come into play. You're literally changing people's lives. Is your fuel source changing as you move through these trenches and you go through? Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Because I know a lot of people get imposter syndrome in business. They get to a certain level of success and realise, fuck, this isn't actually what I thought it was. And they kind of burn out because it was ego and money that drove them. And
I was going to say, let's be really honest about it. When you first start in business, I'm going to be really honest about this for all the listeners. Otherwise, no other version of Graeme. You're driven by ego and money. And ego is a big fucking thing, right? You're like, as long as you can control it. I've had to learn I got a big ego, and I'm happy to be honest about it, right? Be honest about your shit, own it. But I've learnt to keep it in check quite a lot through some really good mentors and friends and you can take ego as a fuel source into other directions, i.e. charity, i.e. team, family, community. But to go back for a sec, no one ever starts if you're a small business owner, medium or large in Australia, and you're listening to this, you are fucking mental. You have more issues than Vogue magazine. Seriously. Think about it. I'm going to not work 9 to 5. I don't want to work for the man or the woman 9 to 5. I'm going to work from fucking 5 a.m. and respond to social media DMs and emails and messages and people smashing me on and then I'm going to go to work all day. Then my staff are going to call in sick. Then somebody didn't pay me invoices I've been waiting 3 months. You are mentally disturbed like I am if you want to start a business, right? We're crazy.
I'm trying not to laugh.
No, mate, laugh.
But it's true.
It's true.
I
don't want to work for the man. Then you don't pay yourself super.
Yeah.
You don't know how to run your books. Your accountant accounts for shit after the fact because most accountants use their personality as a form of contraception. So it's like, oh, here's all my income and here's all my receipts. No shit, Sherlock. You spent it, you earned it. We fuck up our tax. We don't get holiday and sick pay. We don't get super. We work 18-hour days. We're constantly a ball of stress waiting for the next spot fire to fucking, oh, they didn't pay me. Fuck. Oh, I got to pay. And then my staff got, and you're like, why the fuck would you bother?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Like, you are a special type of human being if you are having a crack in Australia right now in a business. A very fucking special human being. Like, kudos to you.
100%.
But it can always be done better. And if you're just going through them, some people listening to this right now that are business owner should just go get a job.
I agree.
Some people should just go they're having a crack, but they should just go get a job.
Not all boxers make good trainers.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
So with your what's changed within your why, do you think? Because I remember last podcast you said your why was about getting yourself into a financial position where you could have kids. Is that still the case? Like,
Ready to rock and roll. So 10 kilos down now, probably another 15 to 20 to lose to be in a really sort of healthy weight range. Like, we just built our own health hub. I've got a hyperbaric chamber. I've got a sauna for fucking 6 people. I've got an ice bath. You know, I spend heaps, and I've got an office and podcast studio upstairs if I'm bored now. Like, we've built our own health hub that occasionally we use with our community. It's got a boxing ring in it, and I've only got one hand from my accident, but I still get in there and get bashed a couple of days a week. So our goal was to get ourselves, our goal was to get ourselves into a financial position where we never had to work again and be comfortable to our needs, goals, desires in life. But that includes a lot of family, parents, aunties, uncles. We've helped everyone buy houses just recently, cars and stuff. 2 was to be able to take what we did, and that was proven, documented in statements, right, and teach that at mass globally. And we're doing that. So the fuel source has changed a bit on the way that when you do something once and do it right, and it was like we built the boat, you push it off the dock like every crazy business owner, and it's leaking, you're fucking bailing it out, you're like, fuck! And eventually it goes from this timber leaky thing to this solid steel fucking beautiful like vessel that's just impenetrable, you know what I mean? Like, that takes fucking years of stress and turmoil. But the fuel cells changed along the way to, we want to get ourselves in a position where we're okay and we can raise a family and not have to worry about braces or, you know, school camp. I mean, I didn't get to go to a rep soccer camp because it was a father-son 2-week school holiday trial because I had my mum. And I went, well, my mum's my dad. And we have a running joke, a couple of my mates go up like, oh, your mum's your dad. I'm like, mum is my dad, fuck off. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, well, mum will come. They're like, mum's not allowed to come. So I didn't get to go to this rep camp to be picked because my dad couldn't come. And the other dads, oh, no, he'll come with us. You know what I mean? So there's so much trauma and scar tissue for me that it's changed along the way that I don't want any little kid to not go to soccer camp or to have boots with holes in them or to not go to rep because they can't afford, like all of that traumatic shit. This is all the shit that fucking drives me.
Is that your main driver?
I think the biggest thing is a fear of none. I think for most business owners, you wake up tomorrow and it could all be taken off you, right? And you're like, and you know that's not real, right? It's just a healthy, in your head fear that the world could die tomorrow, this could happen tomorrow, and I'd be back behind a desk doing this for someone else or something, right? So there's a sort of, I've got a lot of people that rely upon me. So when we talk back, that's a really good question, the fuel cell thing. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of families that rely upon me daily. I got 189, about to be 200 and something staff shortly. And we're launching in the US, which will take that to 300-400 early in the new year. So when you have that many people relying upon you at any given time, it's a big responsibility. So it's constantly evolving for me, if that's fair. Like, there's a period, the core is the fear of none, what we've been able to achieve to get financial stability, to not ever have to work again if we were bored or have family in the new year. But it's also to bring that lower to mid socio-economic sector of society that are now called the working class poor. You know what I mean? Like, that's a shit
How
title.
insulting. Like,
And you see it in the media. You go Google it.
Yeah.
Australia now has working class poor. It's like, who the fuck are you to call us working class poor?
Yeah.
But they're saying, like, they pay a good chunk of the taxes. They don't get much of tax deductibility. You know, like,
They're propping
and
it up.
they can't get ahead, and everything's on minimum payments, and they're on a hamster wheel. But they don't know any better. And everything you try to help them or tell them is a scam. is a rort. Is too good to be true.
Well, it doesn't fit your product line.
You can't do. Yeah, no, that doesn't fit. Like, fuck. Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway,
Credit to you, man.
thanks,
It's
man.
a grind, eh?
It's a constant grind, but not everyone's built for it. Like you guys are built for it. Like not everyone's built for it. So some people, if you're struggling right now and you got a tax bill and a Div 7A loan and you didn't know what you were fucking doing and you pulled money out of your bit, like, man, get some advice. Maybe put it to bed. Go get a job and don't start a company again until you learn how to run a company. Because being self-employed is one thing, but running a successful business is very different.
Good point on the Div 7As. We've had some bad advice on that.
Div 7A is a motherfucker. I'll give you a really good...
Pop that can open.
But hey, I'll give you a really good example of it, honestly, from the heart. I know other high-profile people have spoken about it. If you go take $5 million out of your business and lend it to yourself and think you're smart, it can be fucking horrific. It could be okay. Depends what you do with it, right? But you got to go earn 10 at the top tax bracket to pay, let's just split it and call it 5 in tax, and now you got 5 net, and then you put that back in. And then you have to take it after tax. So you go spend 5 and think it's smart, and then you got to go earn 10 to pay 5 in tax to give yourself 5 to pay the 5 back. Now it's back in the company. It's not that smart, is it? And the fees and interest associated, you got to go earn 15 or 20 to pay back a 5 Div 7A loan.
Everybody like
To be zero.
It's so common though. Like accountants,
Yeah.
It's just the easy go-to, easy quick way to get money out, liquidate.
Yeah, the
flexible.
smartest way to get money out of a business, just pay tax.
Yeah,
You always say
It
that,
is.
eh?
Just fucking pay tax.
yeah.
Thank you to Mark Burris for saying the other day that everyone in Australia should just pay a flat rate of 20%, 25%. And we should, all of the shit that we take out of our ground and our resources and cattle and mine like other countries, if we tax that efficiently, instead of the big corporates' profits, our kids would go to school and university and healthcare would be free. And we'd all live in this abundant society with great GDP and yeah. Anyway, kudos to him for fucking saying it. And I think he had a crack. He was like, everyone running off to live on this fucking Caribbean island tax-free. Well, you can stay and fight.
Yeah.
I pay fucking millions in tax, man. Millions.
Can we ever move that boat
What's
though? Like,
what's the most amount of millions you've paid?
Bro, I'll show you offline. You don't want to
the
know.
sweat's beating on me.
Oh, fuck. Like honestly, like people couldn't imagine. I mean, when you talk staff, that nearly 200 staff and all over Australia and now launching and multiple pillars of our business, because we do now, like we're not just mortgages, we do lots of other
PAYG,
things.
Oh my God.
Mate, my payroll to fucking hell. Like, I get taxed on paying people on tax. Like, fuck. It makes you want to vomit. Like, I got sphincter pucker. My butt's leaking just thinking about it. Seriously.
You're
Fucking
gonna
wild.
when you go to America, are you going to be actually stationed there and running that yourself?
So between the two. So, and this is a really good example. We've just done so much amazing work and accounting firms like PwCs and all this stuff. And at the end of it, I come to a conclusion. I am going to get absolutely fucking penetrated on tax because I'm going to become a dual tax resident, likely, possibly, of Australia and America. I'm going to get fucking penetrated. I'm going to contribute to both societies because otherwise you can only spend 89 days here or 90 days there. And I've got 2 businesses I want to run and I'm heavily involved in them. It's like, people go, I'm going to go set up in the Cayman Islands and you can run out of Dubai and you can grow the fuck up. Seriously, like some people that are doing that, eventually you got to get the money out of fucking Dubai. How you doing it?
Just a big Div 7A.
Yeah, or you're doing this.
Just
and
a
you're
big one.
everything comes home to roost eventually, right? And when you've got the resources to spend hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on proper advice, you go, do I want to live my life looking over my shoulder, waiting for the tap to go, pay up, you're fucked? Or do I just want to do what's the ethical, moral, right thing to do? For me, tax is a success fee. For my community, tax is a success fee. I take great fucking disgustingly sick, some level of pride, but I pay my tax. It gives me the ability to leverage hundreds of millions of dollars of debt. Bank just throws money at me instantly, and I go and get income producing and capital gain assets, and I get income gains and fuckloads of tax deductions to now offset the millions I'm paying.
How many assets you got at the moment, G?
The technical term is fucking heaps. At the moment in my paid masterclass, and I'm happy to dig into it deeper and give examples, I share about 125, 150 million dollars of real estate transactions just in the last 4 years. Wow. With addresses on API data, Cotality, CoreLogic, fuck, what's it called these days? You know what I mean? But so I share the address of the purchase, and if I've sold it, I show the sale, the profit, the loss. We've shown our homes. I just think that when you get to a certain level in business, if you're a finance person, show that you've paid a loan off and show that it really worked for you and your staff as well, depending on their age and experience. And I think if you're a property person, show that. If you're a financial planner, fucking motherfucker, show me your portfolio. And do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I hate? Real estate agents that are advising people on what to buy when they rent property. They don't even own a home. It's like brokers for all that shit.
Don't fucking. Oh man,
that's a pet peeve. You know,
Like
you got to have skin in the game. You got to be preaching what you're doing.
And that's okay. You could be an 18-year-old buyer's agent with 2 properties, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're honest about that, I'm sweet. People that want to get from 1 to 2 can come and listen to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you've got 10 and the person coming to you wants 20 and you haven't been through a GFC, an up, and you're too young to have been through a cycle, when the tide goes out, you see who's swimming naked. Mm-hmm. Right? I've been through a couple of cycles at 42, not heaps, but a couple. It's really important that if you want 20, go to someone who's got 30 because they know what can go wrong. They know what can go. It's not all that glitters is gold. Shit goes wrong financially in life. You've got to have the skill set and the acumen and the financial, emotional intelligence. And when shit goes wrong, do you dump it and fire sale it? Or what's the strategy to hold or how to not have losses, right? That doesn't come from a fucking 3-day course that I've done a 3-day course and I'm a broker or I'm a fucking agent, right? But you're right. Like, people just need to be careful and we're not everyone's vibe. Someone might think you're great for them, right? Like, everybody will find their vibe and tribe. But once you find your vibe and tribe, make sure they're prepared to put their money where their mouth is.
100%. Test it too.
Yeah.
You should call that out.
100%.
You know, especially if you're at seminar or whatever, if you're paying money for professional advice,
Yeah.
I'd say show me the receipts.
So,
Like,
I literally on my course,
Yeah.
I get on and show about 120, I think was last, maybe 150 now because we're buying and selling every day. Like we would have spent, it doesn't even matter. A lot.
It matters.
What
It doesn't.
G it up, mate.
What asset class? What are you buying?
Last 2 weeks ago, I spent $40-something million on assets.
Now we're talking.
Right in that week, in that Monday to Sunday.
Off plan established.
Some established, one very established.
What's that like?
It's nothing.
Do you find those properties yourself, or are you using a buyer's agent?
Well, I'm an agent. I'm corporate licensed in multiple states, so I'm a pain in the ass to deal with.
You'd be a nightmare.
I bought something the other day that was 15 and I paid them 11.25.
Wow.
But there was some data, there was some structure, and look, and I mean, to me, I don't like talking about this stuff because it can be a bit wanky and ego to the everyday person. It's not relative.
Inspiring.
It's attainable.
Hopefully it's aspiring, right? Hopefully they realise that if I can come from houso, DV, married, divorced, loaded with debt. I mean, I had 7 credit defaults in my divorce. Wow. If I didn't fix that and get out of debt, I couldn't have practiced real estate or finance. I had to work my fucking ass off to pay off the liabilities coming out of the divorce. And yet here I am. I can spend $40 million on assets in a week.
Well done.
So I just say to people, if you get the knowledge, you'll have the power to act. You don't have to act, but if you get the knowledge, you now have the power to make intellectual, informed, unemotional financial decisions. So when you say, what's it like? None of it's emotional for me. Last time we spoke recently in between episodes, I bought this beautiful waterfront property, 4 stories on the water at Broadbeach. The people next door got divorced and they sold their house and the person couldn't settle. So I picked it up for 600 grand cheaper than they sold it for. And I was going to join the fucking things together because I didn't know what else to do. I was bored. And then I go, okay, I bought that for 8.7. It's worth 11 or 12 now. I bought that for 7.2. It's worth 8. And then I got the quotes and went, shit, this is going to cost $35 million to knock them down. That's disgusting to me. Like coming from my background, I'm like, that's some wanky shit. So I didn't. I'm selling both those houses. I bought a new fucking house. So it becomes, and it sounds hard for people, but once you get to a certain point, you become desensitized from those transactions. They're less emotional. We're now living in the Mondrian. It's great. I got fucking room service because I live in the residences building because we were going to knock those 2 houses down. And I realised there's dumb money. That's dumb. People doing knockdown rebuilds. Dumb. Right? I'm not going to destroy fucking $20 million of property and then start again and build for 10 or 20. That's dumb. So I sell those assets. I went and spent a fortune in Mondrian, and I live there and look at the beach at Burleigh every day, and then we've acquired a new home.
What do you decide to invest in yourself now?
Still property, man. I don't do shitcoin.
Resi, commercial?
Mostly resi. I only have two out of hundreds of million. I mean, and I think that's important too. Like, I share probably a good 150 million of resi property with people in that class environment to show addresses and let them ask questions and buy, sell, and shit holiday units and McMansions on what I show them, like, very diverse, all up Australia, right? All over the eastern seaboard. I only have two commercial properties in my portfolio. One is the business that we're sitting in right now. I bought it. I spent $1 gazillion on it. Beautiful fit out, amazing culture and space. Now it's too small. It's like, fuck. And woo, I'll get like a 5% rental yield on it if I move out and rent it out. Yay! And its growth will be dictated by what?
The rent.
It's rent. So how the fuck do I make any money? I can't make it any nicer. It's like, I did the reno to make it nice, but its yield will be its value, so to speak. I've got to wait, right? And I did the health hub. Now, I made $1 million on that. So I bought that. The brewery was going under in admin. That's in 90 days, mind you. So I bought that for 4.5, I think. Sale, I bought that under market. They were going into admin. They wanted the money before they went under. Paid 4.5 cash unconditional, I think it was. It's worth 5.5 today. Then we poured a fortune into it, fit out, gutted it. But that literally, based on another sale, was $1 million in 90 days. But I ain't fucking selling. So they're the only two commercial properties we have. I'm not a big fan because I think big risk, big reward. High deposit required. Typically, you find you need like 30, 35%. Rates a little bit dearer for commercial business debt. And then I've got to ask people this that love commercial. What percentage of businesses go broke within the first 12 months?
Most.
What percentage of businesses that aren't broke have Div 7A issues or haven't paid their staff super until we change the... And then I go through what percentage of businesses don't survive 3 years? Because most of your leases will be 1 or 3 years. It's highly likely, depending on the nature of the commercial asset you buy, your tenant will go broke during the lease. Highly likely.
I was going to say, you're big on advising, I guess, clients like resi over commercial. I know, like, a lot of gurus will say, like, build your wealth in resi and then liquidate, consolidate.
I agree with that. I say, like, for people that want high value, high net worth, build the foundation in resi and then you can move into commercial. I wouldn't say build in resi, liquidate and go. I'd say build equity, income, deductibility, strong asset wealth position in resi, dip your toe in the water for commercial and see if you can be successful in jumping ship or balancing two, because they are different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind that advice. I think that's good, safe advice. But
that's good.
Just dip your toe, like hold your asset base in resi. Everyone needs a roof over their head. Not everyone needs a shop, warehouse, factory, or office, especially post-COVID era.
Office is hard. I've got a few of them. It's hard.
It's hard. I can feel you. I can hear it under the table.
Works when it works, but it's tough.
Would you buy this again?
Would I?
Buy this one again?
Yeah, no, this is
In terms
great.
of it's been good for business,
Do you
productivity.
know what? I don't look at this as an asset as such. I look at this as our culture and one of our hubs, and I look at this as our home. Like when you walk through here and you talk to the team and they're buzzing and
Feels like that.
Yeah, and they've got unlimited energy drinks and water and we're doing cool shit. Like, this is our home. We're here, awake. You think you get up in the morning and have your fucking matcha or green smoothie or whatever the fuck health stuff you're into these days, right? It's always all over the health thing. And then say it's 5 o'clock, you get up and you've done your thing and your gym and you've meditated, you've iced, and then you're in traffic for fucking 3 hours if you're in Sydney still, right? And then you get to work and it's like, you might see your family for 25, 30 minutes in the morning over a coffee or a school, and then you're out the door. And then it's dark when you get home. And you might do sport, gym, whatever. You spend more time in your work career awake, active, interacting with humans than you do with your partner or family.
It's crazy to think.
So that space, if you want business owners, if you want to create community, a family-like environment, that has to be a phenomenal space.
Are you diversifying across cities or diversifying across just property type?
So 2 commercial only, 1 office, 1 for health
apartment
space. Yeah. Apartments, townhouses, units, you name it, house and land, a couple of existing dwellings, not a lot. And that's all up the eastern seaboard from tip to toe. So South Australia, yes. Melbourne, yeah, heavily Melbourne lately because it's got to come back eventually. Canberra, a little bit, not so much, but a bit in Canberra as well because Canberra can do some really good things. New South Wales, I don't touch Sydney at all. I'm not into blue chip shit. That's just not my... It's heavily negatively geared. It's a fact. Unless you're high net wealth, be very careful. The yields are fucking putrid. They're 2 or 3%. And that's bad for mum and dad trying to get ahead and pay a mortgage and kids' lives. So for the mum and dad punter, I want to help. So New South Wales, we're more regional. It could be Port Macquarie. It could be the Hunter, Tamworth. They've got stuff everywhere, but not Sydney. And then Queensland through and through all the way up. So tip to toe from South Australia all the way up. I don't fuck with Perth or WA.
Why is that?
I do all of our data. We work with Dr. Andrew Wilson, who used to be the chief economist of Domain. He's now My Housing Market. We do a weekly podcast with him. We have been doing it for years, and you can listen to us for 5 odd years talking about trends and this and that and coming from a low. But WA always came from a low base because it was crunched for so long. It had to, like Melbourne right now, when you can buy shit below cost, it had to come back. And when people are looking to position their money and getting good advice, people will flood to the areas that are the most affordable. That will then have a supply-demand constraint, which will inflate values. However, if you go back to Fortitude Valley many years ago and everyone was like, fuck me, I've got a unit in the valley, what have I done? I can't rent it, I can't sell it. Now, you'd never say that today, right? But some people are still hurting. I did so much data with Doc on that said Perth will highly likely get oversupplied with pure investor stock for everyone else in Australia. And when whole subdivisions and towers, etc., all settle on the same day and you're all competing for tenant, not mums and dads living in it, you'll suppress rents and you'll suppress values. And just over the last few months, the data is showing that they're suppressing a bit stock on like days on market, rentals, asking rents are dropping. So yes, you could make a fuck ton of money if you went to WA, and I think people should have. Great, but for me personally and my clients, I stayed away from it because I could do similar returns in Adelaide, South Australia that I feel are more stable because WA has always been a cyclical market, as Tassie. Whatever Australia does, if Australia's fucked, go to Tassie, it's booming. When Australia's booming, Tassie's fucked. It's like it's a weird, like inversely to everywhere else in Australia. So I just made a decision to stay away from it. And I'm okay with that. People could have made 20, 25%, but we were still getting that in South Australia or parts of Queensland or, I just was never comfortable with it.
It's good advice. That 25% is retracting though, because if you look at it like...
That's what I'm saying. You're seeing it now, retract, and you can go, I made 25%. It's like the pokey player. They never tell you how many thousands they fed in to win the jackpot or the feature. So I made 25% and it netted at 16. Yeah. 16's good. But there's plenty of data that you can be around Brisbane right now and you can do better than that.
100%.
You can be in the Gold Coast and smoke it. You can be in Adelaide and smoke. So there's areas that are just showing what I'd call stable returns that are not as cyclical. And that's just where I feel more comfortable because you don't get a phone call. You don't want to fucking beat yourself up for my stuff, but it's also from your customer going, oh, hey, it went up 25%, but now it's down 10. And they're fucking freaking out. And then what do? The average person?
Yeah, sell.
All fire sell together. Because now they're all competing on the same rents on the same day, the same everything.
Saturates the market.
And the average investor, there's some really scary data now that we're seeing more mid-20 to early 30s are coming huge into the rent vesting space with all the trusty, gimmicky shit, which is now getting taken away. Thank fuck for that. If you can't afford it, don't fucking do it. And all those gimmicks get removed. They're actually the number one person selling at a loss right now in Australia. So some really scary data coming out for the get rich quick that 28-year-old, 30-year-old couple gone into rent vesting, purchased, and within 24 months, they're selling at a loss. Now, how they're selling at a loss, I don't understand in a growing market, but then if you look at stamp duty and agents' fees, their cost-based return is probably where they're losing. Because if you're buying for 5, 7, whatever, and might owe you $760 at the end of it, and then you're trying to sell for $760 within 12 months. That's
interesting.
And someone's going to get on the internet and go, oh, they paid $7 for this 12 to 14 months ago. So people shouldn't even look at property unless they're prepared to run 7 to 10 years. And if you look at the data and go from day 1, 10 years and keep moving it year, the data is really important that shows over 10 years, pretty much everyone's made money everywhere.
Yeah.
All the money comes, buddy, in year like 8, 9 and 10.
Except WA.
Well, yeah. I don't want to beat W. I've got heaps of clients in. It's done so
do well,
well.
yeah.
It's done so well, and it
Safer
looks.
places, though.
They're safer. Like I say, where is all of Australia's population? Pretty much
East Coast.
East Coast, and I like to stay 30 to 45 minutes of a major capital city in a commutable distance for work. It's like the whole tree change thing in COVID. Everyone wanted to go to fucking bumfuck nowhere next to Hoop De Goop. Then they realised they didn't have medical professionals. They had to go back to the city. Then they realised they didn't have footy games, NRL or AFL. They realised they couldn't go to the theatre. Fuck, I don't know. Whatever you're into, right? And like, oh, this really is I got to fucking spend every weekend on the ride-on mower. I don't know about this shit, right? I got to fix a fence. Fucking hell. Like, it became not as cool, and then everyone flocked back. Regionals tend to do okay. Like, they're really consistent, but they don't have the growth that 30, 45 minutes of any capital up the eastern seaboard would. But WA, income per capita, fuck, they make great money. Make great money, but they're mostly FIFO.
What metrics do you use to help you decide when to sell a property?
If I've made money. And if I make money, I always say, I'm not greedy because I'm greedy. So I'm not greedy. I'm greedy because I'm not greedy because I'm greedy. If I can buy, and I always say this, sell one, buy two.
Why one, not 21?
Yeah, what's better than one? Fucking 21, right? And I cottoned onto this age, everyone's like, never, ever, ever sell. Well, fuck, let's look at that for a second. If I can buy for 5 and get out for 750, that 250, firstly, people don't realise there's still, at the moment, there's a 50% CGT discount. Well, fuck. Where else can I get 250 grand and 125 grand has zero tax on the income? The only place the Australian government gives you that free kick is your principal place of residence. There's no CGT, right? But if I can get half of my income tax-free, and I show this in my class, right? If I'm selling 5 properties this year, and I always am, and they're making 200 grand each, did I not make $1 million before tax this year? And 500 of is what? No fucking tax. So yes, I pay a lot of tax, but I make most of my income, not from my business now, but from those sales net of tax each year.
Really?
Think about it. I've got transactions I'm buying for 8 and selling for 12, and half of that has no tax applicable to it. So you can start rolling into private bank and corporate bank and go, hey, I'm a professional investor. Here's my tax returns. I paid fucking millions, but I also generated fucking $6 million this year, and that's free of any CGT, and I've done it year on year on year.
And difference between equity and liquid?
There's such a difference, man.
Do you want to break that down for people?
Yeah, so people think, okay, and I'll go back a step because a lot of people have their home and they've kept their home and it's gone up in value and they've paid a bit of debt down. So they're like, yay! And it's such a good home that it's too small in a shit area and you buy a bigger home. And they do this fucking horrific thing called cross-securitization, and they go borrow all of the debt for the new home. It's loaded with debt. It's not tax deductible. Yet, because they had equity in this home, and they go, we'll just use the equity and we'll own 2. We'll get some rent over here. It'll kind of cover the loan or give us an extra $200 a week. But you're now probably taking $1 million or more, $1 million loan on your home that's not deductible. That's going to cost you 60 grand a year in interest.
Yep.
Just in interest, right? Yet if we sold the old home and it was your owner rock, there's no CGT or you've got the 6-year rule, they could sell that home, pour all of the cash into it, and maybe only borrow 500 grand. Isn't that? And then use the equity in the new home to go buy 2 investments. And then guess how you pay your home off quickly? Well, you could sell one of those 2 investments in 5, 7, 8 years, hopefully, and fucking pay your house off. So, otherwise, the bank's going to typically give you about 80% of your home value and take off any debt you already have. So if your home's worth $1 million and they'll lend you 800 if you have the income and you owe 500, you've got 300 usable equity without being risky and going to mortgage insurance 90%, right? So most people use the 300 equity to buy the new house and then borrow all the money for the new house, and this house is leveraged and so is this one.
Well, they're double leveraged.
Yeah.
But would you say, like, you would see it more than anyone, but such a high percentage of Australian families would do that. I reckon everybody does that.
I'd say
keep the old one.
40, 50% of my clients come through a debt-free in 12 months with me.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I do is say, sell that dog.
But so many people would be doing that. It's just what the banks tell them, the brokers.
Well, the broker wants the double loan.
The double commish.
If you're listening to this and you're a broker, and there's some fucking epic people in my industry that I get along with really well, and there's some people that fucking hate me. I don't mind. If you're a broker right now and you get someone come to you that wants to buy a new home and by selling their old home would have a much better net financial position and could do more investing with you, but you write 2 loans and increase their non-deductible debt, fucking shame on you.
But bro, they know that.
They know that.
that.
They want the double loan, but
they could get 5 or 6 loans.
thank
So push
fucking
it.
hallelujah.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Yeah.
But this goes back to an expert
Yeah.
versus an average human being.
Yeah.
People in jobs could be good at their job, fucking amazing at their job. Not all brokers are created equal, and they're feeding their family. They want the biggest amount of income possible from the
Copy-paste.
transaction.
Yeah.
And people go, oh, but Graham, my kids grew up in that home. It's so amazing. Their heads are on the fucking, call a fucking carpenter, take the fucking door frame out, stick it in the garage of the new house. You know what I mean? Like, and I go, well, tell me, what's it? Oh, our kid. I said, so it's such an amazing fucking house that it's so shit you don't want to live there anymore.
100%. Change
they're
that
like-
perception too, eh?
I spend a lot of time on what I do to help people with that shit. And then you're right. They sell the dog, they pay off their house in full, and then they have a litter of puppies.
Yeah.
Because they go buy 3 and their homes fucking pay. We did like 44 podcasts. Every single person on that has nothing on their home loan.
Yeah.
And they've all come to me with just in the last 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
I love that shit.
But
Good
it's
on
the
them.
best. I fuck it like.
They'll get you going.
There's a couple, and this won't be out yet, so it's good. They're coming to the Christmas party this weekend, and their parents are going to be so proud and cry. They brought their dads and said, could you babysit while we're at the Christmas party? The dads don't know. We're dropping the podcast the morning of the Christmas party, and mid-podcast we stopped. Down Cameron said, and addressed each of their dads to say, I just hope you know we've paid our house off in full. Wow. And they cry. And they're going to surprise them and play the potty on Saturday morning.
Wow.
Dads are going to see it, and then I've given them tickets to come as celebrity guests to the Christmas party because their kids have paid their house off.
And that's generational too. Like a lot of people I know in my family, I think we're the first people to do it. First people to have mortgages. I
Yeah.
think. And that's those people that, your clients that are paying those off, their parents are probably still paying theirs off. Still in that 30-year cycle.
Yep.
It's powerful, man.
That's got to
Good
feel
on you.
good.
It's
gotta make
generational wealth, man. Like I have this weird, sick thing. We asked the question to me earlier. I always think, who will go to my funeral? I'm a real weird prick. you know what I mean?
You've
like,
got a cult, man. It'll probably.
yeah, I
have
always think-
thousands.
I get a bit emotional. Like, who would go to my?
Richard Branson and all those people got up when you were on stage?
That was loose. I actually was a bit over. We did. Have you heard that story?
Yeah.
It was
That's
weird.
good.
Had like 800 people stand up, and I'm like, "Thanks, you're bringing your bingo club, mum."
Tell the audience.
Yeah, so we were doing the potties at the time, and I thought, oh, we do this thing where we say every year, if I've had impact in your life, can you take $2? It's tax deductible, $20. Please donate to the Kmart Salvo's Wishing Tree because I got presents from it. It changed my life. Anyway, I said to the boys, oh, we're doing the potty. I said, you should come and speak in live at Branson and blah, blah, blah. The night before we did a Christmas party, I don't know if it was 400, 800. I can't remember, right? Maybe 800. I can't remember. And I said, if you want to come down to Richard Branson, I'll buy all 800 of you a ticket. And we're doing a Christmas party, black tie, Dalton House, Sydney Harbour. I can't remember the number.
And these tickets are like a couple $100 a ticket.
For
too.
Branson,
Not like-
yeah.
it's
Anyway,
not like-
so we did it. So the night before we had a Christmas award, and that was if you've donated to the Salvo's Wishing Tree Kmart Appeal, I'm going to put on a party for you. And we do awards and comedian, all sorts of stuff. And this was a fancy one. And so the next day you got 2 tickets to Branson, off you go. I didn't really think about it at the time. I thought, oh, they'll all be hungover. Christmas party was epic. I didn't drink because Branson was the next day. So I come out on stage, and literally hundreds of people are in their Infinity show. They were like, yeah, like bigger reception than any speaker all day. And I was a bit like, thanks for bringing your bingo club, mum. Because I was like, that really fucked me up. I'm about to start. I'm in the zone, and now I don't know what to say. But then I realised later, everyone was like, yeah, the people all around us were like, oh, what's this? Who's this dude? Sort of thing. So it was really cool. But this year, I think we got 3,500
Wow.
this weekend.
That's huge. Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to cost. We've raised, I think, maybe 1,030,000 something as at this morning.
Good on you.
That'll climb in the next couple of days. And then we made sure to get into the party, you've got to have donated and you've got to bring a present. We should have 5,000 presents, and the Salvos are bringing trucks and Kmart to pick up from the door on the night. So
Love that.
it's elevated. It's become super fucking cool and emotional. But now people you're seeing, I think, are taking their kids into Kmart and they're teaching them about, hey, you've got lots of toys. What did I give you for Christmas last year? What did mum give you for Christmas? They're like, I don't remember. See? It's just stuff. And we've created this sense of community where people generationally are teaching their children to give unconditionally and what it means for another child that wouldn't have had a present. And I've raised over $1 million, not me, our community raised over $1 million this year because someone did that for me when I was 6, 7, 8.
Thank God for that scar tissue.
Fucking love it. Love it.
What was the original target?
500. We hit 500 in 4 days, 5 days. We're like, okay, we'll move the little dial. If you go onto the page right now, it says 500,000 and it's at over $1 million. And we kept moving it, so we moved the little target thing because it kept going up. But it says, Graeme and Becca in the community trying to raise 500. It still says it in the text, and it's at a bar at $1 million at the moment. So it's pretty cool.
Man.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it's
Changing lives.
it's good to give, man. It's good to give.
Better to give than get.
Yeah, well, we might have to dig into that a bit more together too.
We will. We'll that one on the next one.
Yeah.
Dan?
Proud of you, mate. Well
Thanks,
done.
mate. Proud of you guys. It's fun.
That was a great app.
Yeah, it's good. We'll have to do it again.
Million
We'll,
bucks.
we're going to have to do some more financial stuff and some house stuff and
We'll be pinned.
some all sorts of
Mate,
shit.
we're just getting started.
We're just getting warmed up.
Right, the first one.
But,
All right.
my last question for you on this episode. What's the 7-year-old Graeme saying to this Graeme now?
What's the 7-year-old Graeme say to this Graeme? Just thank you, but give more.
Give more.
Yeah. So we kicked this off this year when we announced that we had an event. I don't want to be a fat, ugly cry guy on a live podcast, but we did an event this year, and one of our guest speakers and a good friend or mentor kicked it off. And I was congratulating them on an award they'd won live on stage during an interview. And they kicked it off and said, no, we're not going to cheers to the award. We're going to cheers to you're doing the Christmas drive. I'm going to personally donate $100,000. Wow. So that kicked it off. And Beck's quite in the background, runs the business operationally, smart as a whip, but she sort of builds everything and everything in the background. And she doesn't come on stage. She doesn't do that. Anyway, she came on stage, grabbed a mic and went, not that it's a competition, but we're going to match it. So we kicked it off with $200,000. So had a good friend and mentor donate $100,000 on a stage. Beck then donated $100,000 for us personally that day. That kicked it off to $200 straight away. Our company hasn't even donated yet. Mind you, we're putting on a Christmas party probably worth $2 million. And I want to talk this quickly. 7-year-old Graeme says give more, but I want to talk to this about social media quickly. I had somebody message me, and I won't name them. Usually I would just for fucking kicks, but I don't want their account to get attacked, saying, you're a fuckwit, as if you wouldn't just donate the $1 or $2 million the party costs. And I'm like, bro, when you raise $1 million and change people's lives and you give back to a community, you know what I mean? Like, people do what they do. I think we all need to fucking woo up a bit in Australia. Like, just run your own race. If you don't like what you see from any of you guys, scroll on. If you don't like what you listen, scroll on, right? Don't waste your energy attacking somebody else doing something good because you just look like the flop. It's a projection of where you are in your life. But 7-year-old Graeme would say, give more. Like, our company hasn't made a donation yet.
Proud
What
of
does
you.
I'm like, what does he give more?
Well, let's see.
Let's see, right? But like, the goal this year was $500,000 and 5,000 physical presents. That's a fucking astronomical goal. Now, I think we've already hit the 5,000 presents because our clients have been going in nationwide and donating all over Australia at Kmart stores. I think we've already hit it and we've got the receipts. But I guarantee on Saturday night, we'll see way more than 5,000 presents at the door of the Christmas party as their entry fee. And we'll be well over $1 million. So, and that's one thing we like to do at this time of the year because there's got to be fucking one day, you guys, in society where people are not hungry, they're not cold, they're not hot, they feel loved, like everyone, whether you're donating to homeless shelters or helping cook them. Like, there's got to be a day of the year that people feel hope, love, and joy. It has to be.
Everyone deserves that.
Fucking, and they don't deserve one day of the year, but fuck, give some people one day of the year because that, like 7-year-old Graeme, maybe that triggers something that fucking catapults.
And I think if you're at any level of success or just in a position to help, it's your duty to help.
100%.
You know,
Especially business owners, families, it's a little bit harder unless they've got
Yeah.
a Graeme and a Beck to help them get to a financial position to give in abundance. They can afford to, right?
Yeah.
Heaps of people are fucking struggling right now. But if you're in business and you're doing well and you've got nice clothes and nice suits and all,
Share it.
fucking share it. And don't be a tight ass. Like I would say to 7-year-old Graeme, do more, give more. Do more, give more. Because it's a drug, man. It feels good.
It's the best drug.
And natural high.
Yeah.
And if people want to criticize you for doing well, again, for reflection of them, just don't worry about them. They're non-existent, so you just push on. So if anyone out there is doing well, give more. It'll feel so fucking good, especially on Christmas Day. You sit down and you'll take a moment and you do it. Right? You'll take it when you're like, fuck, I wonder who opened that. Fuck. And we get it. People come into our offices. We did this last year where Beck seen someone leaving with a lay-by. We didn't know lay-bys were a thing anymore. You know, still society. So she went and paid off all the store lay-bys at Kmart, Robina. And people came in and they were absolute. We've got a plaque in here with photos. They started taking pictures. Wait, what do you mean my lay-by's paid off? They're like, oh, well, if you want to know who it is, we can tell you. If not, don't worry. And so these people have sent flowers and cards and thank yous. And some of the stories you hear where people were going in and refunding their lay-bys to put food on the table. So just give more. You got the moral, ethical responsibility. Yes, apply your own oxygen mask first. I think that's really important. Like apply your own oxygen mask first. As soon as you can breathe and you're in any abundance, give.
Amen.
It'll come back, man. Karma.
Fucking oath.
It'll come back.
It's powerful. Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys.
I'm just like, what have I got to give now?
You
Go
give
write
what
it down.
You give what you can, man. That's that. You
it.
give what you can, and if you doubt yourself, give more. Whether it's $10 or $20, give more. And if you still doubt yourself, go back and do it again.
Yeah. If you can't give money, give kindness, give time.
Well, I'm going to do
Time.
a giveaway. I'm going to do a fucking giveaway.
Yeah.
I'm going to donate $1,000 to, I'm going to do, I don't know what we're going to do, but I'll give $1,000.
I don't know, but it feels good. I'm doing it.
I'm going to give $1,000 away.
That's huge,
of my own
mate.
money. And we'll do it to an audience member, and they have to be under the age of 25.
I'll match it.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Well, I'll have to batch it too.
Yeah.
All right, I'll double it.
All right. So who gets it? What's the,
So that's what's that? $3,000, so
yeah.
$6,000.
$6,000. All right.
Yeah.
$6,000.
So we
I want it to
change
go
someone.
to- I want it-
$6,000 is huge.
It's a
That-
big thing.
Do we split it up? I want it to go to a younger person that's not in the position. I want it to go to like to the younger version of myself that was. Now I'm gonna fucking cry.
Okay.
No,
So
what do we?
what are we going to do? Let's design it before we end this episode. What are we going to do? We're spitballing live here, by the way. There's no fucking edits. This is a one and done. No cuts. This is real deep here.
Well, what?
This is how it should be done. So you want to help somebody
I want to help the younger version of myself.
to clear that car loan
to be able
or
to go
credit
to-
card debt or...
For the younger version of me wanted to go to that Tony Robbins seminar. The younger version of me that grew up without much and wanted to achieve, but maybe
Get fuel in the car.
get fuel. Like wants to have a crack. I want to back that horse.
Okay, well, that's easy because I'll buy 10 Tony Robbins tickets for someone to do like the digital Tony Robbins because he does it digital all the time. So I'll just put up 10 Tony Robbins tickets. So someone that actually wants to have a crack and get up in the middle of the night for time zone and do it, I'll just throw in the 10 tickets as well. And we can pick 10 people
Yeah.
that actually
Take 'em out in a
re-
nice suit.
that actually really want to fucking change their lives and they're in trauma right now or pain or want some help or whatever.
yes.
We'll just get 10 tickets to digital UPW for them.
I mean that's
That's
We'll put it up,
not
we'll post it up.
Yeah.
that's number one.
Yeah.
I'll
But then
fucking
we
love it.
want to do fucking, we'll throw 5-6 grand at it as well. What do we want them to do? But you want them to share something, you want them to post something they've learnt. What do you want them to do?
Yeah, I've never done this before, so
I reckon share their plan, what they're trying to achieve, what they're doing to try to achieve it, the effort they're putting in.
That'd be cool.
You know, send a video in, show us what you're doing, show us your adversity, give us a bit about your backstory. What are you overcoming to get there?
And that's
And-
pretty
You know what I want
deep,
someone
right?
to-
That's
Yeah, you gotta be real.
It's gonna be some raw shit
Yeah.
to share.
So, and they've got to help their mum. So, like, let's say they've got to mow the lawn. They've got to go and help. Like, they've got to go and mow someone else's lawn or do
Yeah.
something that's like.
For someone else.
Yeah.
Now now we're getting deep. There's
Yeah.
gonna be some deep shit. And you know what too? Fucking very public accountability post.
Yep.
Whether you win the money or not, or whether you
Yep.
get some tickets for Tony or not.
Yep.
This is a very big public post a story, tag all of us. Tag,
Yep.
we'll put in the show notes here, obviously, with some QR. They can tag both sides, all of our accounts as well. We'll really share a very public accountability
Yep.
post of, I'm here trying to get through this adversity.
Yeah.
I want to get here. And in the process to be 1% better, I'm going to do this for mum. I'm doing this for this person. I'm doing this for tick, tick, tick.
And I reckon after that, once they achieve it, we'll back them, and then we circle back to them in 12 months, and we'll do a little mini app, and then we can share.
Yeah,
the
we'll get them
success
on a
with everybody.
podcast.
Yeah, we'll just share the success.
Yeah, everyday people, not wanky real estate agents or fucking fat brokers. Or we'll get like real people, real
Done.
stories.
Let's do it.
Let's
I like
see.
this.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
cook it up.
let's see if we can change their perception into a new reality.
Yeah.
And track the story.
Love that idea.
Cool.
And
How do we
then
double this?
We'll do.
well, hang on. And then in 12 months, so the winners we pick
Yeah.
for the cash, pick a winner or two. We might split it. You
Split
might
it,
do,
might do a
let's
few.
do a male and a female winner.
Yeah.
Right, maybe and split it. We'll go $3,000. So, but then we'll and then the 10 TR tickets. But then let's go back to everyone in a year and see if they actually put their money where their mouth is. Did they have a crack to make change? And if they did, we'll come up with something
come
really
up with something
fucking bigger
Yeah.
and cooler.
The end prize.
It's almost like a scholarship.
Yeah, I like
We'll
that.
come back to this.
Yeah, we'll come back.
We'll come back. We'll talk about this off air.
Yes.
We'll do it. There's another episode dropping in a sec, so we'll
I
talk
like
about
that.
this off air. We'll get really
Now it's like,
Yeah.
episode 2. Okay. By the way, if you don't know who the fuck I am and you haven't seen the boys before, go back to Both Sides podcast, episode 60, 67, 68, and 69. 60, 67, 68, and 69 that went fucking viral through 2023 and still to the day are going viral. Go listen to that because we did a giveaway in that. Go through the journey. It's a bit obviously dated a couple of years ago, but then strap in for the next couple of episodes we've got planned now because I'm going to do something wild. Because last time I gave away 20 grand, 50. I said 20.
said 20.
But I gave away 50. So if you're listening to this right now and anything helped or resonated, we're going to get deep into some other topics. Next episode, I'm going to do something fucking wild as well. So we're going to finish building this offline.
Yep.
And in the next episode, we're going to drop that, and I'll drop something super cool for people as well.
Let's do it.
Love it.
Thank you,
Let's
brother.
fucking
let's
go.
fucking go.
Let's go. Done.
hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another Both Sides podcast. Just want to say a big thank you for the support up until now. If you've got value from the episode, could you please go like and follow us on the social platforms, for example, Spotify and YouTube, as that will help us continue to get better quality guests. Bye for now.